Hello student, my name is Amrita Tata. I am working as an assistant professor in the KDH College Nasik. In this session, we are going to discuss the topic under the slide, that is malnutrition and community health. In that, today we are going to see the topic that is the vitamin A deficiency and the causes of this vitamin A deficiency and the sources of this vitamin A deficiency. So here you can see the content in this session. We are going to see mainly what are vitamins or the definition of vitamins we are going to see here, then sources of vitamin A, then some functions or the roles of vitamin A we are going to discuss, then the deficiency diseases or the diseases related to the deficiency of vitamin A and the treatment of vitamin A which is involved to cure the diseases regarding this deficiency of vitamin A, right? In previous lecture, we have studied the malnutrition and overnutrition, right? So, as you remember, the malnutrition that is comes under the heading of undernutrition, and that is mainly because of various deficiency vitamins you can say, or some protein deficiency disorders are also there because of this malnutrition, and overnutrition is that is because of the overeating or the over intake of the nutrients that involves vitamins also and some minerals also, right? Then, but today we are going to see that is what are vitamins, okay? Then vitamin A sources, vitamin A functions, or the role of vitamin A and the deficiency disease of vitamin A, right? So, in this we are going to study, that is to understand, or this topic is to understand what are vitamins, right? Then to understand what are the various sources of vitamin A, that means from which we can get the vitamin A, or what are the sources or the food sources of vitamin A we are going to study. Then to understand the functions or the role of vitamin A, that actually what this vitamin A does in our body, okay, and how it is helpful to cure diseases or to prevent deficiency diseases regarding this vitamin A, right? Then to know the deficiency disorder related to and the treatment of vitamin A also we are going to see in this session. So the main introduction that involves the vitamins are the class of organic compounds and are categorized as an essential nutrients, or these are the essential minerals you can say. So these are basically the micro minerals or the micronutrients. As you know, there are two types of minerals are there, or the nutrients are there, that is micronutrients and the macronutrients. So this vitamins comes under the heading of micronutrients, okay, as these are the micronutrients, but they play major role or the macro role in our health or to develop our healthy diet or the health, okay. So the body generally cannot synthesize these vitamins, so we need these vitamins from the external sources, okay. So this must be provided by the external food sources, or nowadays, as you know, there are many more vitamins or the multivitamins tablets are available in the market. So we can take those tablets also as a vitamin source, and there are various food which are rich in the vitamins. And what are those food? What are the role of these vitamins? In this section, particularly we are going to see the sources of vitamin A and the diseases regarding this vitamin A, right? So the introduction. Here you can see vitamins, they are come under two categories. There are two types of vitamin basically. First is the fat soluble vitamin and second is the water soluble vitamin. Okay. So in that first fat soluble vitamins, the vitamins comes that are A, D, E, K, right? And the second is the water soluble vitamins, that are the vitamins B group or the vitamin B complex group you can see, and the vitamin C, right? So remember this. This is much important information regarding your health. So here let's see the details about the vitamin A now. Okay. So what is vitamin A? So this vitamin or the vitamin you can call it as it is a retinol or the pre-formed vitamin you can call it. Okay. So this is the, or these are the, there are some forms of this vitamin A, and the combination of these all we can call it as vitamin A. So what are these forms of vitamin A? These forms are here. The retinol, you you can call it vitamin A as a retinol, retinoic acid, and the beta carotene also. Okay, these are basically the provitamins, and we can call it as a vitamin A combinations or combined. Right? So some beta carotene converted the retinol into the intestinal mucosa. Okay, so this is the role of this beta carotene, which is get converted into the internal mucosa. Okay. And now let's see the functions of this vitamin A or the roles of vitamin A. Okay, so in this for normal vision, this vitamin A is most important, right? So this vitamin A basically required for the normal visualization. Okay, as we are normally visualize the image in daylight, but if you have deficiency of vitamin A, you cannot visualize in dim light. Okay, or the person suffering from this vitamin A deficiency that who cannot see the clear image in dim light. Okay, the picture will see in the upcoming slide how they see the image in dim light. So before that, maintaining the integrity and the normal functioning of the glandular and the epithelial tissues, which lines the intestinal and the respiratory and the urinary tract as well as the skin and eye. So what this vitamin A does in this glandular and the epithelial tissues or the epithelial cells, it protects or it carry out the main role in the secretion. Okay, that means it protects the lines of the intestinal, respiratory and the urinary tract. Okay, so it protects the urinary tract or the respiratory tract or the intestinal tract. Okay, so they play major role in the protection and the secretions in terms of the glands. Okay, so there are many secretory glands are present for their protection and secretion. This vitamin A plays major role. Okay, then as well as skin and eyes. Okay, so what the role of this vitamin A plays in skin and eyes? As you know, this play major role in the secretion of tears. So the vitamin A is involved in the secretion of tears also. Okay, then it supports growth of the skeletal growth. What is this skeletal growth? As you know, skeletal, that is here in this figure you can see the bone. So this is the image of bone on the skeletal growth you can see. So this skeletal growth is related to the bone. So this vitamin A basically that induces the formation of the bone forming cell. In that way they play major role in bone formation as well as, right? Then some functions of the form of vitamin A, that is retinol and retinoic acid. So we'll see a steroid hormone which regulates the protein synthesis involved in the cell growth as well as cell differentiation. Okay, so these steroid hormones, as you know, these steroid hormones play major role of many functions in our body. So vitamin A or the retinol or the retinoic acid, so they play major role in cell growth and the differentiation, right? Cell growth in terms of cell that becomes tissue, and after tissue it forms the whole organ. And the differentiation, that means it carry out the particular role which it for which it is developed. Right? Then the synthesis of some glycoproteins. So this retinol or the retinoic acid that play major role in the synthesis of some glycoproteins, and some examples of these glycoproteins are transferrin, immunoglobulin, say for antibodies like that. So many glycoproteins that get produced with the help of this vitamin A provitamins or the retinol or the retinoic acid you can say. Then this is also essential to build up the immune system. Okay, how they build up the immune system? Now they build up immune system by producing immunoglobulins and antibodies as well as for to protect our body against some diseases or the viral infections also. Okay, then carotenoids, they function as an antioxidant to reduce the risk of cancer. Okay, now again these vitamins play major role as an antioxidant as they scavenges the free radicals and reduce the oxidation of cell. As they reduce oxidation of cell, that means they indirectly help to reduce the cancer. Right? So the major role of this and vitamin A and the tablets of vitamin A or the sources of vitamin A, that should be the rich or that is rich in antioxidant and that play major role in immune development. Right? So here you can see some sources regarding this vitamin A. So these are some animal sources, plant sources, and some fortified food is also given as a vitamin A source. So let's see the animal food first, which is rich in vitamin A. So that contains liver, egg, butter, cheese, whole milk, fish, and meat. And again, fish liver oil, or you can say the cod liver oil, which is a rich source of the retinol. Okay, so the vitamins or the fish liver oil that is available as a tablet in market. So you can consume that tablet as a vitamin A source also. And let's see some plant sources now for this vitamin A. So the green leafy vegetables, they are rich in vitamin A. So which are these vegetables? So these are the spinach, amaranth, and most green and the yellow fruits vegetables are also given here, that is the papaya, mango, and pumpkin. These are some fruits or the vegetables are the rich source of vitamin A, and the roots that contains or that comes under the heading, that is the carrot. As you know, carrot, this is the, you can say it is a vegetable which is rich in vitamin A. Okay, so it is orange in color. So the carotenoids, which we call the provitamin of vitamin A, which is also orange in color. Okay, so then the fortified food as a source of vitamin A. So the food fortified with vitamin A, such as vanaspati, margarine, and milk. So nowadays there is one practice is carried out nowadays to that is the fortification of food. So fortification of food is nothing but the externally we are adding the nutrients in the available source of the vitamins or the minerals, you can say. So externally we can add vitamin A in food sources, that is called as the fortification of food. Right? Then these are again some sources which are vitamin A sources. So they comes under liver, fish, carrot juice, cheese, sweet potatoes, and the squash, and the milk also. So these are some sources of vitamin A. You can see in this image. Now we have seen the sources and function of vitamin A. But when we consume this vitamin, where does it go? So it goes into the liver. Okay, so liver is the main storage box of the vitamin A, you can say. So liver has an enormous capacity of storing vitamin A. Okay, so in the form of retinol palmitate. Okay, so the question in the exam that can be asked for you, that is the vitamin A which is stored in liver in which form? So vitamin A is stored in liver in the retinol palmitate form. Okay, then the free retinol is highly active, but it is toxic. As you know, anything in excess of quantity that is harmful for our body, whether it is vitamin, whether it is macronutrients or the micronutrients. So in excess quantity they are harmful or the toxic to our body. So it is transported in the bloodstream, and by combining with the retinol binding protein that is produced in the liver. So binding with the retinol binding protein, that get what can we say, that is transported or the released into the blood. Because excess of that, as we have discussed, it is required for the bone formation. Okay, but it is, if it is present in excess quantity, then what it does? It does the deformation of bone, or it induces the cells called it as the blastoclasts. Okay, so these blastoclast cells are the bone destroying cells, okay, or the bone deforming or the degrading cells. So the excess of this vitamin A, that also affects the density of bones. So excess of this is also harmful. Then here in this image you can see the deficiency diseases of vitamin A, and there are main deficiency diseases of this vitamin A, and they are mainly the extraocular and ocular. Okay, so what is ocular? That is related to the eye. Okay, so what are the ocular diseases or the deficiency diseases of this vitamin A? Let's see. So first is the, or most common is the night blindness. Okay, then conjunctive xerosis, then white dot spots, corneal xerosis, and the keratomalacia. These are the ocular diseases. In detail we are going to see in upcoming slides. And extraocular diseases, that is not related to the eyes, but because of deficiency these diseases can happen. So these are the follicular hyperkeratosis, anorexia, and the growth retardation. So anorexia is nothing but you can say loss of appetite, you can say. Okay, so in this figure you can see this hand is nothing but the hyperkeratosis. Okay, so we'll see a detail of this disease in upcoming slide. So here first disease we'll discuss, that is the night blindness, which is the most common disease as we have discussed, right? So deficiency of vitamin A that causes this night blindness, right? So one cannot see in dim light, as we have already discussed that normal people with the no vitamin deficiency that can see in dim light also, but the people who are suffering from this vitamin A deficiency that cannot see or that cannot, those cannot visualize the image in dim light or in less light, right? Then the condition that get worse if vitamin A is not taken properly in form of foods or in form of tablets as well as, right? So this condition can be worse, so this should be treated in proper time or before it get more worse. Then especially if they suffer from diarrhea and the other diseases, and in the case of diarrhea, if that person is suffering from this vitamin A deficiency, that in that case, this vitamin A deficiency that severely affect the eye health. Okay, so the night blindness that can be developed into the whole blindness, okay, or the complete blindness. That's why the precautions should be taken, or the vitamin A rich sources should be taken in people or in patients' diet. So here in this image you can see the how the vitamin or the night blindness patient can visualize the image. So in this image you can see the night blindness at middle and normal sight at left and right. That means here the normal people can see the images like which is on left and right, and if person is suffering from night blindness, then though that person visualize the image like this, that is middle, that is black and white portion he can see in the dim light. Okay? Like this, night blindness is there. Then this is the conjunctive xerosis. What is this xerosis? We see this is the first sign of vitamin A deficiency which we can be visualized by our eyes. Okay. So the conjunctiva becomes dry and non-wettable. So in this image you can see the conjunctiva is dry and non-wettable. That means normally if you see our eyes are wet, but in this xerosis the eyes are dry. Okay, so it appears muddy and wrinkled instead of smooth and shiny. So, in this figure you can see the cornea, you can see or the conjunctiva is wrinkled or that is not wet or properly wet. So this is the conjunctival xerosis. Now this is the Bitot spot. Okay, so here you can see the spot which is developed in this. They are triangular, pearly white and yellowish foamy spots are given. Okay, so these are some rocky appearances there, or the yellowish triangular or shapeless Bitot spots are also there. So this is rocky or the chalky appearance is there of this Bitot spot that is mainly observed in the vitamin A deficiency patients. So on bulbar conjunctiva on either side of cornea, this Bitot spot is present. Okay, this can be present in either side of this. You can see in the eye. Then, which is usually bilateral or the convex in nature, that is bulgy in nature. Okay, you can see the bulgy nature of this spot here. Then in young children, it indicates the vitamin A deficiency. If it is observed in young children, so this is the main deficiency disease of the young children. Okay. Then again corneal xerosis. Here the cornea appears dull, dry and non-wettable and eventually opaque. Okay. Again in this the cornea, you can see in this figure the cornea appears dull. Okay. And eventually it becomes opaque. That means it is now in normal people it is somewhat translucent. But in this corneal xerosis, the cornea, this cornea appears opaque, that is not transparent or the translucent, right? And in more severe deficiency of this vitamin A, there may be the corneal ulcerations also. So this ulceration or the reddening of this eye, you can see this is the ulceration of the severe deficiency of the vitamin A, or because of the severe deficiency of the vitamin A, right? So the ulcer may heal having corneal scar which may affect the vision. So this ulcer is curable, but it will develop a scar after curing this xerosis. Okay, so the scar will be developed in this corneal xerosis. Then keratomantia. Okay, so in this figure you can see the eye, and it is the liquefaction of cornea. Okay, whatever the black portion of our eye is there, that is the liquefaction of our what can we say, the cornea. Okay, so in this figure you can clearly see the liquefaction or the liquid formation, you can say, in the eye. So this is an medical emergency. You need the operation for this keratomantia. Okay, and you need to remove that. What is the liquefaction is there. Okay, or the soft portion is given there. So the cornea or the part of the hole that can be become soft and burst open. Okay, so liquefaction, that is the cornea or the part of cornea, that is the liquefaction, that means the liquid is there inside it. So it may burst open in some cases. So you need the operation or the instant operation. Okay, for this case. So this is rapid, and if the eye collapse, vision get lost. So you can see this slimy layer here. So that can be burst open and the eye can collapse. So you can permanently lost your vision because of this keratomantia. So now there is again xerophthalmia, that is commonly called as dry eye. Okay, so what is this dry eye? Again, all this vitamin A deficiency related ocular, or these are ocular vitamin A deficiency that are related to the eyes. Okay, so this xerophthalmia is dry eye again. So it refers to the all ocular manifestations of the vitamin A deficiency here, and it is serious nutrition disorder leading to the blindness, particularly in South Asia. Okay, so this is mainly observed in the South Asia. Okay, remember this also. So it is most common in children of age 1 to 3 years, and often it is related to the weaning. So what is this weaning? Weaning is nothing but when child, or approximately 6-month child, when he or she stops taking mother's milk. That this condition is called as a weaning. At this stage particularly, that child can develop this xerophthalmia. Okay, this is recorded. Then yes. Then again, xerophthalmia in this dry eye. Risk factors include ignorance of the faulty feeding practices and some infections like diarrhea or any viral diseases are there. Okay. Then in Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Bihar, these are most prone to this xerophthalmia or the dry eye. Okay. But the children from this area, they are mostly suffering from this dry eye. Then the West Bengal is also badly affected because of this xerophthalmia. Then the rest of the North Indian states are less affected because of this. These are the less affected. That is, the North Indian states are less affected of this xerophthalmia. Now we'll see the extraocular manifestation. Okay, extraocular means other than eyes. Okay, so this vitamin A deficiency that not only affect eye but some extra portion of the skin we have discussed. So it affects mainly skin. So it consists of follicular hyperkeratosis, anorexia and growth retardation. So these are extraocular manifestations regarding this vitamin A deficiency. The question, 100% question can be asked on this. That is the extraocular manifestations. That is, first is hyperkeratosis. In this figure you can see the hyperkeratosis is nothing but the thickening of the skin layer. Okay, and it becomes yellowish in nature or rocky in nature. Okay, so this is the hyperkeratosis of skin. Any type of organ or any type of thickening, or you can say any type of organ can be damaged by this hyperkeratosis or the vitamin A deficiency. Even mild vitamin A deficiency causes increase in morbidity and mortality. That is basically in some tribal area, you can say. due to the respiratory and the intestinal infection. That means if that person is suffering from already respiratory and the intestinal infection and that person is now suffering from the vitamin A deficiency, so in that case that may lead to the mortality or the morbidity, you can say. Okay. Now students, treatment for this vitamin A deficiency. Okay. So a vitamin A deficiency should be treated urgently. Okay. As we have already discussed what are the deficiency disorder or the diseases of this vitamin A that should be treated so early. Okay. While we detect that vitamin A deficiency is there. So nearly all early stages of xerothermia can be recovered by, okay, but only early stages. So here some doses are given for the curation or the treatment of this vitamin A deficiency. That is administration of massive dose of around 2 lakhs of the international units of vitamin A. This IU stands for international unit. Okay, and around 110 milligram of the retinol palmitate orally on 2 successive days. So orally 110 mg of this vitamin A it is necessary to cure the early stage of the xerothermia. Okay. Then here in this chart you can see the timing and the vitamin dosage. Okay. So in first column, let's see the timing is given, that is immediately on diagnosis. Then first before 6 months of age, that is 50,000 international unit of vitamin A should be given. Then children of 0 to 12 months of age, 1 lakh international unit of vitamin A should be given. Then children above 12 months of age, 2 lakhs international unit should be given. And on the next day, that is the same age specific dose should be given after the birth. And after the birth, at least 2 weeks later, same age specific dose should be given. Okay. So this is the normal chart which is included for the vitamin A dosage by the national institutes. Now prevention and control of this vitamin A deficiency disorders. We'll see there are 3 courses. First is short term course, second is medium term course, and third is the long term course. Okay. So here in short term course, administration of large doses of vitamin A that should be given. Okay. So this involves the large doses or the large quantity of dose is given in the short term. Then medium term, fortification of food is there, that is addition of vitamin A in the food sources. Okay. Then long term course that involves the reduction and elimination of factors contributing to the ocular diseases. So we'll see what are the short term, medium term and long term courses. So let's see here in short term course or the short term actions for this for to cure or to treat the vitamin A is a simple technology is developed by the National Institute of Nutrition from Hyderabad. Okay. So the strategy is to administer the single massive dose of vitamin A in oil, that is retinol palmitate form, orally. Okay, and in this chart you can see, as we have already discussed, according to this National Institute of Nutrition, this chart is developed. So the age group below 12 months, that is dose of 1 lakh international unit is given and duration is around once in every 4 to 6 years. Okay. Then second is children above 12 months, that is 2 lakhs international unit dose is given once in every 4 to 6 months after the age, above the age of 12 months. Then child rearing age, that is the age about 2 years we can say. So 3 lakhs international unit dose should be given to those children within 1 month of delivery. Okay, or after 2 years and after the delivery immediately this dose should be given to that baby. Okay, according to this Nutrition Institute. Then medium term action, this involves the fortification of certain foods such as dalda or the vanaspati, that is ghee or we can say, and margarine and the dried skimmed milk which is rich in vitamin A. So we can fortify this food as we can add externally vitamin A into these food sources, right? Then the fortification is successful only if in sufficient quantity by groups at risk. As we have discussed, the groups, that means some tribal people, or we have discussed some districts or the states which are affected or the majorly affected by this vitamin A deficiency disorder. So in those areas, this fortified food should be given to treat or to cure this vitamin A deficiency. Okay. Then this is the long-term course. So this is to consume green leafy vegetables and other vitamin A sources. So this is the long-term course. So in this dosage is not given, but vitamin A rich food is given in daily diet. Okay. So that's why here involved the green leafy vegetables are involved here. Then promotion of breastfeeding from 0 to 12 months, we can say. Okay, so this breastfeeding is required for the vitamin A, that as vitamin A is present in the body secretions, and milk is also a secretory part of the secretions of body. Okay, so this milk is a very rich source of vitamin A for the infants. Okay, then it improves the environmental health, such as ensuring safe and adequate water supply. Okay, then maintenance of sanitary utensils and to safeguard against the diarrhea. Okay, so the long-term actions involves this environmental health also, and immunization against the infectious diseases such as measles, and prompt treatment of diarrhea and other infections, or we can say the respiratory or intestinal disorders. That means if person is having deficiency diseases, that will not lead to the morbidity or mortality. Okay. So this national program for the prevention of the nutritional blindness or the night blindness. So this is invented in 1970. Okay. So this is the national program for prevention of the nutritional blindness. Was initiated to fight this vitamin A deficiency. Okay, so in this vitamin A supplementation, it covers children up to 5 years. So in this program, basically children under 5 years are covered, or they are given with the dosage of the vitamin A. Okay, this program is focused on mainly based on the promoting consumption of vitamin A rich food. Okay, by pregnant and lactating women and by children under 5 years of age and appropriate breastfeeding. So the people who are working in this institute or the national program, so they promote the breastfeeding, or they educate the people for this breastfeeding or the consumption of vitamin A rich food. Okay. Now this program is also involved administration of massive dose of vitamin A, that is up to the 5 years of children. So first dose of, as we have already discussed the dosage or the classification of doses regarding the ages of children. And this program mainly includes the first dose of 1 lakh international unit with measles vaccination at 9 months. Okay. Then second dose is of 2 lakhs international unit after 9 months and at 6 to 18 months with the booster dose. Okay. Then thirdly, the subsequent dose of 2 lakh international unit every 6 months up to the age of 5 is carried out by this program. And then for the sick children, all children with this xerothermia or the vitamin A deficiency to be treated at these health facilities or in the hospitals which are related to this program. Then all children suffering from the measles to be given 1 dose of vitamin A. Okay, and if they haven't received the previous dose in 1 month, then all cases of severe malnutrition given 1 additional dose of vitamin A. That is included in this national program for the prevention of the nutrition blindness. Okay, so here these are some references for this topic. You can refer. Now, students. Upload your assignments on Google Drive or Google Classroom or on my email also, that is amrutadada@kthmcollege.ac.in. And there are 2 questions assigned for you. First is explain vitamin A deficiency disorders in detail, and second, what is national program for the prevention of nutritional blindness. Okay, so please do these assignments and upload it. Now let's talk about what we have discussed in this session. So we have discussed what are vitamin, then sources of vitamin E, functions of vitamin A, deficiency diseases of vitamin A, that are ocular, extraocular, like that. Then the treatment of vitamin A and which programs are involved in the treatment of this vitamin A deficiency disorders, right? And in the next lecture, we are going to see the iron deficiency disorders.